Imagine standing in the middle of Paris today. Around you are busy streets, cafes, museums, bridges, modern cars, tourists, and millions of people moving through one of the most famous cities on Earth. But what if you could travel back through time? What would Paris look like 2,000 years ago? What existed here before the Eiffel Tower, before the grand boulevards, before the famous cafes and monuments? The story of Paris is much older than the city most people recognize today. Its history stretches back more than 2,000 years, from a small settlement along the River Seine to a global capital of art, culture, politics, fashion, and tourism. This is the incredible story of Paris, from around 250 BCE to 2026. The beginning. Around 250 BCE. The earliest important chapter of Paris begins around the 3rd century BCE, when a Celtic people known as the Parisian settled around the River Seine. The Seine was extremely important. It provided water, transportation, fishing, and an easy route for trade. The settlement was located on and around what is now the Île de la Cité, one of the islands in the Seine at the heart of modern Paris. At this time, there were no massive stone buildings, elegant avenues, or famous landmarks. Instead, imagine wooden houses, simple paths, boats moving along the river, traders carrying goods, and small communities living close to the water. The location was strategically valuable. The Seine connected different parts of the region, making the settlement increasingly important for commerce. But a major transformation was coming. Roman Paris. In the 1st century BCE, the Roman world expanded into Gaul. Roman forces eventually took control of the region, and the settlement associated with the Parisi became part of the Roman Empire. The Romans developed the settlement into a city known as Lutetia. Lutetia grew on both sides of the Seine. Roman engineers constructed roads, public buildings, baths, and other infrastructure. One of the most fascinating things about ancient Paris is that traces of Roman civilization can still be found beneath the modern city. The Romans built large public baths, including the famous thermal baths, whose remains are associated with what is now the Musée de Cluny. Imagine walking through modern Paris and realizing that beneath the streets are layers of a city that existed nearly 2,000 years ago. Paris was already becoming a place where different cultures, languages, and people came together, from Roman city to medieval capital. After the decline of the Western Roman Empire, the city entered a completely different era. During the early Middle Ages, Paris became increasingly important to the Frankish kingdoms. One of the most influential rulers was Clovis, who established Paris as an important political center in the early 6th century. Over the following centuries, the city continued to grow. The Île de la Cité became a major center of religious and political power, while settlements expanded along both banks of the Seine. By the medieval period, Paris was no longer a small riverside settlement. It was becoming one of Europe's major cities. The Great Medieval Paris. During the 12th and 13th centuries, Paris experienced enormous growth. The city became famous for education, religion, trade, and politics. One of the most important developments was the growth of the University of Paris. Students and scholars arrived from different parts of Europe, turning Paris into a major intellectual center. At the same time, some of the city's most famous medieval buildings began to appear. Construction of Notre Dame de Paris began in 1163. For generations, workers built the cathedral using stone, wood, metal, and incredible craftsmanship.